Hello, my name is Robert Jenkins. I'm the Global Director of Education and Adolescent Development for UNICEF, and thank you very much for the opportunity to share a message for this important World Assembly. And I wish I could have been there in person, but thanks again for the opportunity to share some pre-prepared remarks. I'd like to begin by recognizing the critical importance of the campaign that's ongoing and all the advocacy work that you do, and to ensure that every child gains a quality education. And UNICEF is very much with you. It's never been more important, as we all know. The world is in the depths of a global learning crisis, which has been further exacerbated by the impact COVID has had in resulting school closures. We know that over nearly 90% of 10-year-olds in sub-Saharan Africa, as an example, are now unable to read and acquire foundational learning, and that's a critical example of how important it is for us to advance your important work. We also know that the impact of school closures was disproportionately felt by marginalized children, and the emphasis then on bridging marginalized children back into school or enable them to catch up and accelerate their learning is absolutely critical. The potential of having a lifelong impact on those children, but for the generation as a whole and their resulting communities and countries, is very real. At the Secretary General's Transforming Education Summit, the global education community did call for commitment to work together to end this learning crisis. I'm pleased to say that many nations and leaders did indeed share some very impressive examples of actions and plans that give us great hope in the future collective work to do just that, end the learning crisis and enable a transformation of education. We're going to continue at UNICEF to work at the global level, but in regions and countries around the world to support those leaders who are indeed committed to reaching marginalized children and transforming education. I'd also like to encourage all of us, and also in UNICEF, for us to continue to work hand in hand with youth and youth leaders around the world who are very clearly vocal and engaged at the Transforming Education Summit, but also are very much involved in this transformation around the world and are at the center of the change process. We're going to continue to also work across sectors, recognizing that for children to be able to learn, they also need to be well nourished. They need to have a sense of safety at school and on the way to and from school and free from violence. They need to have access to water and sanitation and many other services. And so we will be working across sectors, again, from an education point of view to enable children to learn, but recognizing the holistic needs of children and that indeed children's well-being needs to be met and needs to be supported in order for us to be successful. Ultimately, we will continue to be committed to respond to the ongoing crisis now, but also in a way that transforms education. We remain committed to work with the GCE coalitions around the world to achieve this lasting change for children, building on the exciting plans and to delve deeper in these key issues, including education financing, digital learning, gender, and inclusion. We must all now collectively capitalize on the momentum created by the tests at country level, but also globally, to push the envelope forward and further to end the learning crisis and transform education systems. Thanks again for this opportunity, and I wish you all the best.